네, 지금부터 스위프트에 관한 오리엔테이션을 시작해 보겠습니다. 우리는 지금 스위프트라는 언어를 사용해서 프로그래밍이라는 걸 배우려고 합니다. 그런데 이 프로그래밍이라는 건 우리에게 생소한 영역입니다. 이런 생소한 영역으로 진입할 때 가장 어려운 점은 도대체 어디서부터 어떻게 시작해야 되는지를 몰라서 갈피를 잡지 못하는 것입니다. 그래서 어디서부터 어떻게 시작해야 되는지를 한눈에 볼 수 있는 마인드맵을 한번 만들어 보았습니다. 이 마인드맵은 크게 세 가지 영역으로 구성되어 있습니다. 첫 번째 부분은 프로그래밍을 왜 배워야 되는지에 대한 이유에 관한 부분이고요. 두 번째 부분은 프로그래밍을 배울 때 여러 가지 배워야 하는 것들이 있는데 그중 우리가 배울 스위프트가 어떤 것이고 프로그래밍에서 이 스위프트가 어디에 위치하고 있는지에 대한 부분입니다. 세 번째 부분은 앞에서 무엇을 배워야 하는지에 대해 개략적으로 알았다면 그 무엇을 어떻게 배워야 효율적으로 습득할 수 있는지에 대한 방법에 관한 부분입니다. 그럼 첫 번째 부분인 프로그래밍을 배우는 이유에 대해서 살펴보겠습니다. 먼저 프로그래밍을 배우는 이유에 대한 짧은 동영상을 보고 다시 오겠습니다.
It's not rocket science. No.
Now, when you were first coming in contact with these computers, inventing them, and before that working on the HP 9100, we talk about writing programs.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of programs? What do people actually do with these things?
See, what we did with them, well, I'll give you a simple example. When we were designing our blue box, we wrote a lot of custom programs to help us design it. And to do a lot of the dog work for us in terms of calculating master frequencies with subdivisors to get other frequencies and things like that. We used the computer quite a bit to calculate, how much error we would get in the frequencies and how much could be tolerated. So we used them in our work, but much more importantly, it had nothing to do with using them for anything practical. It had to do with using them to be a mirror of your thought process, to actually learn how to think. In other words, I think the greatest value of learning I think everybody in this country should learn how to program a computer, should learn a computer language, because it teaches you how to think. It's like going to law school. I don't think anybody should be a lawyer, but I think going to law school would actually be useful because it teaches you how to think in a certain way, in the same way that computer programming teaches you in a slightly different way how to think. And so I view computer science as a liberal art. It should be something that everybody takes a year in their life. One of the courses they take is, learning how to program.
네, 스티브 잡스는 프로그래밍을 배우는 이유에 대해 프로그래밍을 하면 사고하는 법을 배울 수 있다. 그래서 모든 사람들이 꼭 한 번은 프로그래밍을 배울 필요가 있다라고 말하고 있습니다. 이렇게 꽤 괜찮은 이유가 있다고 하더라도 우리가 가지고 있는 프로그래밍에 대한 느낌은 복잡하고 어려운 코드들로 구성되어 있고 그래서 우리 같은 일반인들이 접근하기는 어려운 영역처럼 느껴집니다. 그럼 이런 생각들처럼 프로그래밍은 과연 머리가 좋은 사람들만 할 수 있는 걸까요? 그래서 그에 대한 동영상을 하나 더 준비해 봤습니다.
I was 13 when I first got access to a computer.
My parents bought me a Macintosh in 1984 when I was 8 years old.
I was in 6th grade.
I learned to code in college.
Freshman year, first semester, intro to computer science.
I wrote a program to play tic-tac-toe.
I think it was pretty humble beginnings. I think the first program I wrote asked things like, what's your favorite color? Or how old are you?
I first learned how to make a green circle and a red square appear on the screen.
The first time I actually had something come up and say, hello world, and I made a computer do that. It was just astonishing.
Learning how to program didn't start off as wanting to learn all of computer science or trying to master this discipline or anything like that. It just started off because I wanted to do this one simple thing. I wanted to make something that was fun for myself and my sisters. And I wrote this little program and then basically just add a little bit to it. And then when I needed to learn something new, I looked it up either in a book or on the internet and then added a little bit to it.
It's really not unlike kind of playing an instrument or something or playing a sport. It starts out being very intimidating, but you kind of get the hang of it over time.
Coding is something that can be learned, and I know it can be intimidating. A lot of things are intimidating, but you know, what isn't?
A lot of the coding that people do is actually fairly simple. It's more about the process of breaking down problems than, you know, sort of coming up with complicated algorithms as people traditionally think about it.
You don't have to be a genius to know how to code. You need to be determined.
Addition, subtraction, that's about it.
You should probably know your multiplication tables.
You don't have to be a genius to code. Do you have to be a genius to read?
Even if you want to become a race car driver or play baseball or, you know, build a house, and all of these things have been turned upside down by software.
What it is, you know, computers are everywhere. You want to work in agriculture? Do you want to work in entertainment? Do you want to work in manufacturing? You know, it's just all over.
Here we are, 2013. We all depend on technology to communicate, to bank, information, and none of us know how to read and write code.
When I was in school, I was in this after-school group called the Whiz Kids, and when people found out, they laughed at me and, you know, all these things, and I'm like, man, I don't care. I think it's cool, and, you know, I'm learning a lot, and some of my friends have jobs.
Our policy is literally to hire as many talented engineers as we can find. The whole limit in the system is just that there just aren't enough people who are trained and have these skills today.
To get the very best people, we try to make the office as awesome as possible.
We have a fantastic chef,
Free food,
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
free laundry,
snacks, even places to play and video games and scooters. There's all these kind of interesting things around the office and places where people can play or relax or go to think or play music or be creative.
Whether you're trying to make a lot of money or whether you just want to change the world, computer programming is an incredibly empowering skill to learn.
I think if someone had told me that software is really about humanity, that it's really about helping people by using computer technology, it would have changed my outlook a lot earlier.
To be able to actually come up with an idea and then see it in your hands and then be able to press a button and have it be in millions of people's hands. I mean, I think we're the first generation in the world that's really ever had that kind of experience.
Just to think that, I mean, you can start something in your college dorm room and you can have a set of people who haven't built a big company before come together and build something that 1 billion people use as part of their daily lives is just crazy to think about, right? It's humbling and it's amazing.
The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You know, you're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everybody else.
I think it's amazing. I think it's the closest thing we have to a superpower.
Great coders are today's rock stars. That's it.
네, 이 동영상 내용처럼 프로그래밍이라는 게 꼭 컴퓨터를 이용해서 어플리케이션을 만드는 것에 국한된 영역이 아니라 악기를 연주하거나 축구를 하는 것처럼 그냥 일상적이고 취미로도 할 수 있는 쉽고도 재미있는 영역이라는 걸 알 수 있습니다. 그럼 프로그래밍이 왜 재밌다고 할까요? 그 이유는 어떤 무엇인가를 만들기 때문일 겁니다. 즉 프로그래밍은 크리에이티브한 영역인 것입니다. 우리가 대부분 지금까지 컴퓨터로 해온 건 컨텐츠의 소비에 집중되어 있었습니다. 컴퓨터로 다른 사람들이 만든 게임을 하고 다른 사람들이 만든 동영상을 보고 문서들을 보면서 그 컨텐츠를 소비해 왔습니다. 하지만 계속 컨텐츠를 소비하다 보면 문득 자신이 원하는 컨텐츠를 만들고 싶은 생각이 들 때가 있습니다. 이런 생각이 출발점이 돼서 컨텐츠를 만들고 싶은 욕구가 생기게 됩니다. 그리고 컨텐츠를 소비하는 것보다 생성하는 게 더 재미있는 행위일 겁니다. 이렇게 컨텐츠를 생성하고 싶은 마음이 들었다면 어떤 종류의 컨텐츠를 만들어야 하는지 정해야 할 겁니다. 게임을 만들 수도 있고 혹은 애니메이션을 제작할 수도 있습니다. 모바일에서는 iOS 앱과 안드로이드 앱이 있습니다. 이 중 자신이 만들고 싶은 걸 선택해서 그에 관련된 부분을 배우면 될 겁니다. 네, 첫 번째로 프로그래밍을 배우는 이유에 대해서 살펴보았습니다. 이 이유가 프로그래밍을 배우는데 강력한 동기가 돼서 계속 유지해 나갈 수 있는 원동력을 줄 것 같습니다. 혹시 프로그래밍을 배우다 지치면 아까 보신 동영상을 다시 한번 시청하셔서 계속 해 나갈 수 있는 힘을 얻으시길 바랍니다. 다음 시간에는 우리가 무엇을 배우는지에 대해서 살펴보겠습니다.